What's going on YouTube? Today I bring you a video talking about airsoft brands. I'm gonna do a lot of bitching about things that bother me and things that I like. So stick around, enjoy the conversation, and if you have any opinions of your own, leave them in a comment below. But let's dive right in. I love pistols, so let's talk about pistols first. This pistol. Things that I like about it. The replica sight. Fucking love it. So easy to work with, easy to adjust, cheap, solid, not cheap in quality, cheap and inexpensive is the better word, right? The Bifrost, like something that I just watched a video by I think it was Airsoft headquarters. He doesn't use the adapter for anything 11mm, and he like tosses it aside. This adapter is fucking amazing. It comes with O-rings, so you can really cinch it down on your replica and the Bifrost itself. It's got an Allen key that comes with the Bifrost, so you can put it in this tiny little hole. Where is it? Yeah, right there. You can put it in this tiny little hole and really crank it onto your gun so it stays tight. Come on. And it comes with the freaking tracer. I had a lighter S that came with this ugly, derpy little adapter that threads on to 14mm, and then you have a gap between that and the tracer, and it just looked ugly. It was made of plastic. It was prone to have its thread stripped. So, freaking good for you, Ace Tech, to include something so simple, but extremely effective. Other things I like about this. These steel rear sights. I like the rear sights. I got the wrong size fiber optics. So they were kind of a pain in the ass to install, and they broke. So I have 4 fiber optic pieces because the actual rod was too thick and it snapped. So I have to use like a little knife or something, or toothpick, to get the little pieces out and try it again with smaller fiber optic pieces. So that was my fault, but steel rear sights, cheap. The AIP front sight works decently too. I mean, no gripes there. Just gotta make sure it's centered. There we go. Yeah, no gripes on the front sight. I love the steel outer barrel by Lancer Tactical. Oh, we're gonna talk about Lancer Tactical tonight for sure. I love the blowback housing. I'm not sold on the garter nozzle. I mean, I heard good things about it, but I don't notice anything much better with the garter nozzle versus anything else, really. I mean, it's starting to, you know, get more used to being on my gun, I guess. At first, I didn't have a good air seal, but I think as things have like started cycling, and maybe the springs are setting in a little bit more, and it's cycling a little bit smoother, now I'm getting that seal between the nozzle and the hop-up bucking. The LA Kappa's green bucking, I love it. It's so good for something so inexpensive and kind of underrated, right? Not a lot of people are using it. It's something different than the 9-ball or the Maple Leaf. And if you're like me and you build a lot of stuff, you just get bored with the same. You get bored with the Maple Leaf and the 6.0 9-ball and the this and that. So I went with a Lambda 1 inner barrel. It's the G34 size. Like, I went with the LA Kappa green bucking because it's new, it's different. Like, Airsoft is starting to get somewhat stale on the builder side when only 1 or 2 companies are coming out with decent products. Now, I said we'd talk about Lancer Tactical. Let's talk about Lancer Tactical. So many people are hating on Lancer. I get it. You might have had a Gen 1, Gen 2 rifle that fucking sucked. Okay, big whoop. Sorry that happened. That really sucks for you. Like, I don't have $150 to give you back. I, myself, wasted money buying the Wii Galaxy. We all buy shitty guns sometimes. It sucks. Get over it. And start to learn what companies are doing now. Right now, Wii is bad. I will not buy a Wii for several years. I will let them fix their fucking blowback unit on the Galaxies, and then I may try them again. But I'm not opposed to a company growing and learning from mistakes. So many people are opposed to Lancer Tactical because maybe their Gen 1s were really bad. The Gen 2s I've heard are really good. If you watch C7 Viper, he destroys that Lancer Tactical, and it still cycles. The Airsoft GI video, they destroy a Lancer, and it still cycled. Like, I don't know. There's video of it, like, happening. I mean, it can't be that bad if they're really dipping it in mud, dragging it behind trucks and shit, driving over it, like, still usable. No, it's not a competition-worthy gun, but if it still cycles, a young kid who only had $150 can go still play Airsoft with his first replica. Also, Lancer Tactical doesn't make all the shit that they sell. Their AKs are OEM'd by SEMA. And SEMA AKs are the fucking epitome of Airsoft replicas. So, why are people complaining about that? When the actual CEO of Lancer Tactical and owner of CEO of Lancer Tactical talks about in an interview that their guns come out of the SEMA factories and stuff like that. Like, you start putting things together, not all the guns that Lancer Tactical makes are Lancer Tactical. And I trust SEMA. I've had 3 that have not failed yet. I've had, let's talk about chronologically. I've talked about the shotgun before. I'm going to keep bringing it up because I got to use it on Thursday, which is Veterans Day. And I got to fucking peg people with this. Yeah, I died some of the time, but like, it's so satisfying to be perched up and know your iron sights are exactly where the 3 BBs are gonna go. And you can pre-fire some dude who you know is gonna peek a corner because you can see his shadow. And you're just like waiting, boom! And you see the 3 BBs fly, and then the guy peeks out of the corner and poof, and he goes, ah! Like, that is so satisfying. That was an $80 investment for me. A friend got it in a mystery box, didn't want it. He sold it to me because he knew that I liked shotguns. First shotgun. Right now it's my only shotgun because I've sold all my other ones. I sold my Tokyo Marui M870 Tactical. That was all HPA, M4 adapted, blah, blah, blah. I liked it, it just didn't feel like me. It was someone else's gun first. And they built it into what they wanted. You know, I'm about personalization in Airsoft. Build the gun that you like. Make it into something you love, right? That was someone else's build. I sold it. My Jag Arms Reaper, I regret selling that, to be honest. I sold it at an expo. A young kid was looking to spend about $200 on an airsoft gun. The Reaper costs $180, but I had already HPA tapped it. I had a SRO sight on it. I had Magpul furniture on it. Like, had a foregrip that came with it and stuff too. Extra shells. I sold it to the kid for like $220 bucks. It was probably like $250 altogether. of everything on the shotgun. He got to save a little bit, I got to make a little bit, and then like a week later I was like, dang, I shouldn't have sold that. I had another shotgun for a minute, another Springer, got rid of that. The one that survived is the SEMA. This SEMA M3 full metal shotgun is so nice. Like, people that complain about how like shotguns are single use, you guys aren't challenging yourself correctly. You know, like, yeah, it's a single shot. You only have 10 shots out of your shotgun on 3 round or on 3 burst. Pick your shots better. It makes you play smarter, a little bit more passively. Hold your angles a little bit better. Not rush in, not die. Yeah, SEMA. SEMA also makes my outdoor gun. That is dirt, and I covered this thing in moss, right? I literally went to a tree, ripped off some moss, laid it down on the barrel, and then I was just peeking out of bushes, and this thing was covered in forest moss. I fell into like knee-deep mud, dipped the barrel into the mud, got up, cycled some blanks to push the air out the barrel and clear it up. Still getting headshots at 40, 50 yards away, body shots at 60 to 80 yards away. Full auto, 27 RPS, 6.03 inner barrel, steel gears, high torque motor. Like, this SEMA alone is $200 on sale, $205 on sale on eVic or something. Normally like $250, and it performs better out of the box than my ARP9 did for cheaper. Another SEMA that performs better than my ARP9 did is the MP5 with these beautiful, I mentioned it in one of my videos, these beautiful mid-cap magazines. Like, oh, look at that. 130 round mid-caps. More than the ARP9. If I could go back and change what I got for the first time in Airsoft, I would have definitely gotten a SEMA. I did a lot of research, and I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that now, as a more informed airsofter, tech, someone who works on this stuff, someone who loves this stuff truly, that the hype around the ARP9 was kind of unwarranted, because no one I know that has an ARP9 keeps a stock. My issues with the ARP9 started 4 months after I got it. The nozzle broke. It cracked and bent down. So I had to get that replaced. It was $40 for the service of repairing it, plus the cost of the part. And the part was like $30. So it came out to $70 to replace the fucking nozzle, because I didn't know how to do it myself back then. And then the MOSFET that came in the gun would turn off the gun if you were pulling the trigger too often or too fast, to keep it from burning out your battery and frying your insides, or your internal, not your insides. In this ARP9, nothing is stock except for the lower, and the lower, the upper right here, and the outer barrel. So different rail, different grip, different stock, different gearbox, different gears inside. I think they're all steel, like SHS or Lonex or something like that. 13-to-1 gear ratio. It fires like a dream now, because I had to spend, money to get it into a performing state. And yes, now I love it and it's worth it. But it's not even a G&G ARP9 anymore. It's an Andrew Von Grease ARP9. I guess AVG. It's an AVG ARP9. So you start looking, you start seeing other G&G guns that you have to do things to them to get them to perform the way that they're supposed to. The GTP-9 fires hot out of the box. The SMC-9 fires hot. You have to get a different nozzle to bring it down to indoor field limit. That's where people are using carbines. They're not using carbines outdoors. People aren't really using SMGs outdoors. Not very much. I mean, you may have a couple, but I don't know. For the most part, I see SMGs used indoors in rifles and Mark 18s and 5.16s and whatever, or 4.16s. Fuck, I've had too much. Used outdoors. So my experience with my G&G was just somewhat bland, somewhat mediocre. It made me love airsoft. It let me airsoft. If I could go back, I'd get a SEMA. I would have changed that. Now, I do respect G&G because G&G was the only company doing anything in 2020. I mean, G&G was coming out with new guns every week. The new Tracer in 2020 that they came out with, the SSG-1, the carbine kit for the GTP-9 or whatever it is. So they were doing a good job at being an airsoft manufacturer, and they make their guns Western standards. So they fire 330, 350, 400 FPS, depending on the classification of the gun, if they're long rifles or SMGs or pistols or whatever. They try to get their guns to shoot a little bit hotter compared to all the freaking Tokyo Marui fanboys out there that swear by them. But you know what? I'm guilty of it too. Never keep them stock. I have two right now that are not stock. I have this one and this one. This is a stock outer barrel, but I've like done shit to it because I'm doing a Star Wars build. This is a different grip. It's got a different trigger. It's got a different hop-up unit and barrel and bucking. This thing isn't even a Tokyo Marui anymore. I mean, at some point we need to start renaming what it is if it's no longer the original brand. This is an Airsoft masterpiece. High Kappa. Sheesh, forgot the name. This is an Airsoft masterpiece, High Kappa. It's not what it was when it was created. This is I don't know what this thing is. This is a Frankenstein Star Wars High Kappa. It's not Tokyo Marui anymore. It's its own thing, and that's fine. But I just feel like you shouldn't have to do that. There should be guns out there like the SEMA that just perform well out of the box, that don't turn off if you over pull the trigger because they have a MOSFET that can handle it. Oh, yeah. We mentioned Lancer Tactical. So there's a couple channels that have been hating on Lancer Tactical, and I get it. Like, if you had a Gen 1 or Gen 2, it was bad. I already talked about that. Like, I bought the Wii Galaxies, they were bad. I have a bad experience, bad taste in my mouth. I don't trust Wii. You don't trust Lancer Tactical. But that was years ago. I'm gonna wait a few years before I ever try a Wii again. Lancer Tactical is making upgrade parts for High Kappas that I didn't know about until I built mine. The sights, steel, says Infinity on the side. Like, the Airsoft Masterpiece ones are like $55, $65 or something. This was $25. Same quality, dropped in, No issue. I don't have to file or anything. Same with the outer barrel. This steel threaded outer barrel is Lancer Tactical. Like, this red dot is Lancer Tactical. This fake ACOG is Lancer Tactical. Like, I can't speak about their guns at all and the quality of their guns, and all I can do is refer you to YouTube channels like C7 Viper, where he destroys that Lancer and it still cycles and still functions. Airsoft GI, they interview I think it's like the owner or the CEO of Lancer Tactical, and I've met him at Oregon Airsoft Arena. Super nice guy. He knows that Gen 1 had issues. He understands that, and he's trying to make it better. You have to give credit where it's due, right? Lancer Tactical is so much more than just the guns, though. I trust their optics. Oh, I have another one in the other room that's like this red aluminum one, too. I trust their optics. Now I trust their high kappa parts. This was a drop-in. I didn't have to file my slide down. That's the one thing I wasn't going to do. I was not going to file down my slide to make room for an optic or iron sights or the front iron sights. I was not going to file it down. I spent too much on the slide itself. I wanted to make sure that if I sold it, that nothing has been done to it that will affect the next person using it and what they're going to be able to use it for or customize on it. So I said I'm not going to file it down. I didn't have to put the Lancer Tactical iron sights on it. I didn't have to put the AIP iron sights on it. I didn't have to get the Lancer Tactical outer barrel that's steel, that's threaded, to work on it. That is so accurate. Like, barely any wobble. Barely any. It's not even a fixed one. And then the inner barrel doesn't wobble at all. So I can actually use a red dot optic. Like, maybe some of these YouTubers have been burned in the past by Lancer Tactical, but I assure you that if you gave them a shot with some of their other products, you would be satisfied. Let's talk about one more brand. I love pistols. Umarex. I'm kind of pissed off at Umarex. Okay, I like this pistol a lot. It works well. The extended magazine for it, I got through 230 shots before I had to regas. Love it. Super good. I think this is OEM'd by either KJW or VFC. I want to say VFC because it's the Glocks. I don't know who OEMs all of Umarex's stuff, but I do know that their new MP5 that they just announced is the SEMA Platinum for $350. The SEMA Platinum that I bought, this one, is $205. The Elite Force Umarex one, same thing. And you know what? There might be someone here that's like, oh, it just looks like it's not. I literally commented on the post on Instagram. I was like, this looks just like my SEMA Platinum. And the guy responded, or lady responded, maybe because it's OEM'd by them, or maybe it's because it's made by them. So he or she thought they were messing with me, like, oh, look at this idiot. Yeah, it's made by them. So then why are you charging $350 for it when I bought mine for $205? All you've done is they changed the stock and they put on that classic MP5 style one that dips down and has like a full stock. Put a red trigger that says like limited edition red trigger. And they said that it has a high torque motor. This one has a high torque. They may have swapped it, but the Platinum already has one. $205. There's, for the same thing, $350. That's gross. That's disrespectful. Like, towards your customers that don't know, that don't do the research. And you can't stop them from buying it. They're going to buy it. They're going to be like, oh, I got the Elite Force one. And then I'm going to meet them and be like, oh, I got the SEMA one. We have the same gun. Oh, mine's Elite Force. Yeah, well, my SEMA gun made your gun. And then Elite Force / Umrex swapped the trigger and the stock and charged you $150 extra plus shipping. So how can one company come out with something that's awesome, works well, don't have any complaints, and then come out with something that is a copycat and upcharge? And it's when I learned that I don't respect Elite Force Umrex anymore because of that. They don't make anything themselves, and the quality of their items depends on who OEMs them. So they really can't take any blame. But that also means when I contact them because I have a part that I need fixed in this, where the nozzle spring sits, not a big deal, still cycles, but it's just loose. When I contact them, they don't have the part because they don't make the gun. They send me to a different website, or they send me to a different email link for me to contact someone else from another company to find the correct part for this. Evic doesn't even have the part, so I had to go to Umrex to figure out where the fuck I can get this part inside here, because there's a little tiny grub screw that holds the nozzle spring on. The grub screw is getting loose, so the nozzle spring is starting to get loose. Still cycles, still works, I don't mind it. But Umrex doesn't know how to help me because they don't make their guns. That was a long gripe. That was a lot of gripes. I'm sorry. I hope that you enjoyed listening to some of my rants about airsoft stuff. But I feel like as I get better at working on my own things, I start learning, and Pandora's box opens up, and I start seeing that Jag Arms is OEM'd by Golden Eagle, and Golden Eagle guns are $120, and Jag Arms are $200 to $250. And you're like, wait, what? I could have just gotten that one? Well, why can't I get that one? Oh, because it's not available in the US. And you start going down this rabbit hole and finding the origins of your guns, and you realize that the airsoft industry is all sorts of confusing and fucked up. And people have opinions based on other people's opinions of other people's opinions of things. And no one's doing their own research and their own looking into anything. When I first bought my Combat Master, last spiel, when I first bought my Combat Master, I was warned against it. Oh, don't get that. It's not TM compatible. You're not going to find any aftermarket parts for it. I was a little worried. I was young, dumb airsofter. Guess what? I've had this gun for 2 years now. Almost 3. And it's not broken. It's still alive. Their slide isn't cracked. Because it's made of some sort of low-end steel. Or some sort of like zinc alloy or something. I'm not sure. No cracks in the slide. Unlike Tokyo Marie. The outer barrel is fine. It's a little loose. Not the most accurate pistol in the world. But it can fucking take HPA and cycle at 325 FPS, because my field limit is 330, consistently. It can take aftermarket outer barrel and inner barrel and hop-up unit if you want to. I just really like the rose gold. It can take different magwells. It can take different hammer assemblies. The only thing is that there's a couple components that have to be AEW custom, like the sight, the thumb and grip safeties have to be AEW custom. Don't believe that they're fully TM compatible. The TMs can fit in here. I don't think that these fit in the TMs, because the TMs are slightly smaller. Same with the, actually this is a KJW mag release. The KJW one is a little tight. kind of sticks for the mag release. Nothing's broken in this. I can swap everything out. I have swapped everything. I've tried it every different way. I've put TM outer barrel, hop-up unit, inner barrel. I've put in the cow blowback unit and nozzle in here. Drops in just fine. Like, right now, I've put most of the stock stuff back in because it still works and it cycled better. It felt better than when I was putting in aftermarket stuff. So 2 years of functioning, almost 3 years of functioning without anything breaking versus so many people complaining, where is it? So many people complaining about Tokyo-Marui high kappas and their slide breaking. And the hop, I literally saw the hop-up unit crack on someone else's gun recently. Like, that sucks. Your gun shouldn't do that out of the box. And people swear by certain companies. But you know what I'm learning? The only company that I trust in Airsoft right now is SEMA for their guns. A company that I trust for making parts and trying to come out with a huge, like, wide spanning catalog of items. Lancer Tactical. They're making gear, backpacks, chest rigs, high kappa upgrades, internals. Like, the companies that people hype up the most, VFC, G&G, Crytek, I don't see anyone using them long term. I see someone get a Crytek LVOA, use it for 8 months, a year, something breaks, they stop using it, another thing breaks, they got it fixed, a different thing breaks, stop using it altogether, sell it on a hop-up. So, I'm going to leave you with that. I love Airsoft. If you have anything that you want to add to this conversation, please let me know. I'm going to keep making some videos tonight and just release them like one at a time, I guess, over the next few days. But it's been really great getting this all off my chest and just fucking talking Airsoft with you guys. I love Airsoft. I hope you all do too. Go get yourself a SEMA and enjoy your weekend. Bye.